anymore.
don't think I've ever seen my husband with a bare face other than pictures.
Yeah, it's weird. Okay, so this is Thursday. Nope, it's Wednesday. Yep, Wednesday night. It is our monthly team Zoom. So I will upload this on YouTube. So if you have teamies, people that are not on right now, I'll be posting the link. It'll be up on our Cosmic Sense YouTube channel as well. So we have so many new people, so I almost feel like I need to introduce myself. But so if you're watching the recording, I'm Casey, the one you get emails from as you post from. I'm the director of Cosmic Sense, and we have lots of our leaders talking today. Saturday, we start a brand new catalog season. So we kind of wanted to chunk some smaller little pieces in there of things that will be useful for kicking off this new season. So we're going to talk a little bit about two big types of parties. Obviously, there's home parties as well, but hold on 1 second. Guys, make sure you're muted unless you're presenting. It throws up background noise sometimes. That's crazy. All right, there we go. So we're going to talk a little bit about bag parties, grab bag parties, and Facebook parties. Obviously, we also have home parties, but I know personally, like, it's kind of iffy right now with COVID and social distancing going on. I know I personally haven't booked any. I haven't even kind of approached anybody about them just because, I don't know, we've been very serious about not bringing external germs into our home. So I feel like other people are probably feeling the same, but I know there's still home parties happening. So if that's your jam, go with it. But my business has always been very heavy on Facebook parties and bag parties. So that's what we're going to hit a lot today. I feel like that's what a lot of our new people are going to be wanting to hear about. And we will also be talking about LTOs, which is what we call our limited edition products, so limited time only. And those products are with our licensed partners. So Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, MLB, NFL, any of those licensed companies that Scentsy partners with, they always have a little stricter rules with what we are and are not allowed to do, especially when it comes to marketing. So we're going to talk briefly about some like frequently asked questions to do with marketing of those. We have a lot of licensed products coming up for release. We have the Villain Swarmer that's coming out and the Wax Collection, the Jack collection. Those are all, and we have Captain America coming sometime soon. So, and I'm sure there will still be some surprises in the fall that they haven't told us yet. So those licensed products are very important to know your stuff and compliance. Then at the very end, we're going to hit some info on sponsoring. We're at the very beginning of a incentive period. So sponsoring is going to be super important towards earning that. Incentives are meant to build leaders and grow teams. They are designed that way. People who are earning incentives are automatically going to be growing a very successful team, and they're going to promote like crazy. So incentives are awesome. So we'll talk a little bit about that at the end. Again, next month, we are planning a sponsoring boot camp training that will have a weekly session. So if you see something you have questions about tonight, or you want to hear more about that or see more resources about that, just let us know. We're going to compile a list of questions you guys have about sponsoring to kind of work on those trainings to make sure we hit things that you're confused about and provide information that I think is very valuable for growing your team. So disclaimer, before Leslie jumps into bag parties and grab bag parties, I know we have a ton of new people who are either on right now or will watch the replay of this. So I just want to say up front, start where you are. I really hate it when brand new consultants get very discouraged because they see these big successful consultants who have been doing this for 1, 2, 3 years, doing all the things, and they're thinking they have to do exactly what they're doing. I have a really great photo that we actually found as we were organizing all of our Scentsy stuff, like going through, pulling out the spring, summer stuff, making sure everything was organized for fall. I came across some really old samples that I had made when I first started 2 years ago. And so the first one was just like written on the bag. Then you had one that had a sticker where I wrote on the sticker, then printed stickers, then like fancy printed stickers. So it was kind of like an evolution of my marketing throughout 2 years. So as you're listening, as you're seeing grab bag parties, hearing about Facebook parties, do not feel overwhelmed. Do not feel like you have to do what everybody else is doing. Use the materials you have. Use the budget you have. Don't spend family money on Scentsy. You spend Scentsy money on family. So do not go thinking you need to do everything we do. We provide this information to you guys to show you you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Like, this is what you can work towards doing for your bag parties. Use what you have. And I'm sure Leslie's going to talk a little bit about that, but I just don't want anybody to feel discouraged when they're listening to leaders talk about what they do. So you will build up to it. You will grow. So Leslie, you want to go ahead? Let me spotlight you. There we go.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Can everybody hear me okay?
You're good.
Everybody good? Okay. So I'm going to talk about bag parties. And I actually talked a little bit about them for the Director for a Day challenge that we had going on this month. So be sure to go back and watch that if you have a chance. But I'm actually going to talk about 2 different kind of bag parties that I have. And there's a purpose for each one. So my most popular bag party is my really big bag because I can pack it full of full-size products that people can use, and I encourage them to use as they have a bag party. So I actually have, it's a big bag like this. I got these on Amazon. I think it was like a 4-pack for super cheap. So they're like the little stadium bags. And so what I do, I have several different things inside, and then I'll talk about just some of the reasoning why I put some of these things in here. But I have several things that came from our group Google Drive, and I think they're probably from Chloe at some point. But I have the little grab, sniff, share, just kind of explanation of the party and just kind of a welcome to the party. And on the back, I have the hostess rewards. And I laminate these because I keep using them for each of my parties. It's less work for me. I kind of front load the work, and I, spend a day getting my bag parties ready. I laminate everything, and then I have them ready to go and just change out depending on who my hostess is. Whoop, and I'm about to lose my bag. So that's the first thing. And I like to have it in the very front of the bag just so they can see. It's really colorful. And yeah, sheet protectors work really well too, Casey. But I like to have it just because it's exciting. It's got like little confetti around the title, and it gets them excited to get started. Then I have just a quick little form about shipping, and then order form logistics, just so they can see, what's going to make it easier for me to put in the order once they collect orders from their customer or from their friends and family members for me to enter. So I have that. And then I also, for all of my bag parties, I make a little sheet, and I put a QR code for their families to scan and shop directly from the party link. And then on the back of that, I also put that they can scan to join my VIP group on Facebook. So as soon as I find out that someone's wanting to do a bag party, I go ahead and make the QR codes and print them out and stick them in the bag so I don't forget, because that's a really easy way for them to just quickly shop from the link. It's being shipped directly to them. This is really, really good if they have friends and family that are from out of town. They can actually scan it themselves and then just share that link with them. So it's just a really easy way to have that at their fingertips. And then, of course, we want everybody to join the VIP group so that they can stay up to date on all things Scentsy, especially if they can't order right then. That happens a lot. They'll say, well, I had this bag party, but they don't get paid until a week after. Well, join my VIP group. You can stay up to date, and then we can get you what you need when that time comes. So that's something really, really important that I try to put in every bag. I also put a join packet. So this is actually something that I didn't talk about on my Facebook Live. But I actually put the join packets down in there because it's all concise and ready to go, and they have more information in there. I have samples, I have my card, I have a little rat card that tells just about why we joined Scentsy. And then I have a catalog in there as well. So that's something that I keep on hand. I pre-make those, and then I can just stick them in my bag parties as well. And then here's the important part of the bag party. I want to give them as much Scentsy product as possible for them to use, because you guys know as you use the products, you fall in love with them. So I have several things in my big bag that they can use. I put a full-size counter clean in there, and I try to either do that or a Scentsy Fresh, just so they can use that and experience that. I also have a Scentsy Go, and I'll let them experience that. Mine's personalized, and I'll tell them, even though it has my name on it, you just use it. So I have a lot of people that set this up and like in their office space, and people say, wow, that smells really, really good. And then of course they can start talking about it. Well, I have a bag party going on, and then they can share the catalog and all of that. So I tell them use the Scentsy Go. I put the little charger in there for them to use. And then I also put a pack of pods so they can see how the pods come as a pack of 2. And I always start with fresh pods, so that you have your full fragrance throughout the entire party, and they don't have to worry about changing out the pods. But I like for them to see how the pods come in a pack of 2 as well. And then I always choose scent or fragrance testers to put in there as well, and I just put them in a little baggie, and I try to just choose a couple from each fragrance family to put in there, because everybody has different scent tastes as well, or scent preferences, I guess, not taste. So that's my big bag party, and that's really the most popular one because people get to use a lot of the products. And then I also have started using something called like a practice consultant kit, and I use these really small bags like this. And these actually came from Five Below, and they're fun. They have like glitter inside, and the glitter will move around. But all I do, I put some order forms. I put a little flyer like this. Did you know you can earn your business kit for free? And it shows the Hostess exclusive kit on the back. And then a catalog, and I put a little scent circle. I put some small little samples for them to use, and I put some testers in there. And if they are successful with this, I say, keep this kit. This can be your kit until your kit arrives. And it just shows, people that are your, potential recruits, that it doesn't take a lot to run your business. You don't have to have all of this inventory to be a Scentsy consultant. Having the things to smell, having a few little samples and testers, it gives you plenty to use, and it just shows them that it's really easy to run your business, and it just gives them something to have that's tangible too until their kit arrives. So I started using those, and I just call them a practice consultant kit for anybody that's kind of wondering what it would be like, and then that's an easy way for them to earn their kit too, through the Earn a Kit Hostess kit. So those are my 2 bag parties. I think that's it. If you have questions, feel free to reach out. I've had a lot of success with bag parties, especially with the whole COVID thing going on where people can't do home parties. So between Facebook and bag parties, it's been really successful. And a lot of times with my Facebook parties too, I'll ask the hostess, do you want a bag of stuff that you can share with your local friends and family, and even give them one of my bag parties to go along with their Facebook party that they're doing. So that's been really successful as well. I think that's it.
Alrighty. Okay. So yeah, and guys, if you aren't familiar with Zoom, there is a chat section. I've got that pulled up on my computer, so you're welcome to go over there if you have questions. Post it there, and we also kind of just make comments there, because I commented when she talked about her live that definitely go watch that, because that was a really good one. I love bag parties, and I do think that that's the biggest sponsoring segue, because they did all the work. They've got the bag, they've got the testers, they're making the sales, they're having to carry it around with them. They're doing what we do. So I feel like that is the biggest party type for sponsoring. So
And
try to get
Sarah
that.
actually commented too, asking how to pique interest in bag parties. One thing I do, I like to take a picture of one of my bag parties, and I make sure that I have something with my picture on it so they know that it's mine and I'm not stealing it from somebody else. And I will actually just message people that have ordered recently and say, hey girl, I've got a bag with your name on it. Let's get your next order for free or half off. What do you think? And most of the time they're like, yeah, that's great. Let's plan on doing that. And they'll say, let's wait a little bit, or let's do it right away, but I usually try to message them individually, people that have recently ordered. And like I said, make sure that I have my picture somewhere on there so that they can see that it's real. It's from me. I'm not copying it from somebody else.
Also on that note, I'm going. Okay. Here we go. You can also kind of, I hate to use this wording, I don't know a better word for it. You can almost like party trap people into taking a bag party. Like if you're talking to a customer and you're just following up with them and you're like, you need to smell the new fall winter scents. And they're like, oh yes, I want to. You're like, all right, girl, I'm gonna put you together a bag with the new testers and I'm gonna drop it off for you, smell them, and then take it to work with you. Let your friends smell it. And then you get free stuff from it. And they're like, oh, okay. Like they're already excited about smelling it. And then you've kind of just, people hate the word party. I don't know what it is, but like anytime I've intentionally avoided that word, things have went so much better. So, I mean, online shopping links, practice consultant kits, it's a bag party. Like all of those terminology we use, we're avoiding the word party. So you can kind of use your customer service follow-up to get bag parties into people's hands too. Okay, so I'm going to talk briefly about Facebook parties. I do have on Facebook a practice, like an example Facebook party. So if you haven't seen that, just let us know on the team page or let your sponsor know and we'll add you to that group. It's basically just a party that I had a couple of months ago, and I just took all the people, the attendees out of it afterwards and turned it into an example party. So it's exactly how mine are laid out. So I mostly want to talk about some things that I'm planning on changing with my Facebook parties. I have changed my Facebook party format multiple times because you kind of have to figure out which works for you and your personality and your schedule. So I do think Facebook parties are most successful if you do go live at some point in the party. Personally, I'm going to start going live right after the hostess has added her people to introduce myself. That's something I haven't been doing, and I want to do that from now on. But typically, we set a night and a time where I'm going to go live and I show products. And that usually goes very well. And even if people aren't on, like, don't get discouraged if you see one or two people on that live video, because people are busy. People have crazy work schedules. People have crazy children, and you can't always commit to a time. So people will rewatch it, because I have people all the time who 2 days after I did the live, they're commenting, asking questions. So people will watch it. Don't feel discouraged if many people aren't on. But what I'm planning on changing from mine is I'm going to have my hostess, I'm going to tell her to pick out one or two people to basically be her hype squad. Like your best friend, your sister, your mama, like whoever it is that you know they've got your best interest in mind. You're going to be recruiting them to be your hype squad. So I want you to reach out to them and let them know that you need them to like, comment, post pictures of products if they have them in their own home, participate. I mean, you know how that is when there's crickets in a Facebook party. So if they're already getting somebody on board to show interest, first of all, it's going to help your Facebook algorithm. It's going to help those posts show up for your hostess's friends and family. And I'm going to let my hostess know to get that person's address and email address for me. And I'm going to send her some mail before the party starts. So she's going to get like the scratch and sniff sheet that has the stickers for the new scents on it, and some whatever samples I have laying around, like just whatever I've got, I'm gonna put in a little bubble mailer, send it to her as a thank you. That way she's invested. I mean, people love it when you shower them with gifts. So giving them stuff is going to make them participate. Then in the first 24 hours after she's added her people, I'm going to post a Google form for people to fill out with their contact information. And the people that fill that out, I'm going to mail them that scratch and sniff sheet. Because one of the biggest disadvantages of Facebook parties is that people can't actually smell the scents. So if I can at least get those new 10 scents under somebody's nose in some form or fashion, that way when I'm posting and I'm going live and I'm saying these are the new scents, if you got mail from us, which one was your favorite? Which one of these do you think would be the best for your laundry line? Like whatever I've put in there, I can reference it. I got those ideas from Rachel Spear. She has some brand new videos up on her YouTube channel about parties, bag parties, Facebook parties that are really good. So especially if you're new, you might want to watch those. She goes very, very in depth. And it actually inspired me to make those myself. So I went and made YouTube videos that are pretty short, but just introducing myself, showing a bag party to my hostess, and like I'm going to send it to them when they book with me. So if they book a October bag party, I'm going to go ahead and send that video to them now, saying this is what a bag party looks like. Use this for this. This is for you to keep. Make sure they fill out this on the order form, like giving her the whole rundown that I would do in person through this video, just so a lot of times we get bookings from people that have never even met us in person. And I just feel like it's super important to start getting my face out there to people when they've booked with me. That way, I feel like they would be less likely to end up canceling on you. They would feel more on board, like it's a partnership, a team thing. They would be more excited because they're seeing it. And honestly, like when you see those bag parties, like those are fun. They've got lots of stuff in them. So that's the kind of things that I'm gonna start changing. General time frame for Facebook parties, 5 days has been my span. I mean, I'll have the group open for about a week, but I've been doing 5 days. So about 3 days before the live, I'm posting pretty heavily. And then I have the night I go live. And then the 2 days after, kind of following up with just kind of tweaking interest and get those last minute orders in. And Katie's going to talk a lot about hostess coaching, but that's also a huge part of Facebook parties. Like you got to work with your hostesses because you can only do a Facebook party so good. You have to have your hostess on board too. So on that note, I'm going to segue over to her. Again, my mock party is linked on our group page. If you search example party, it should come up on our group page. But if you can't find it, just ask your sponsor or post on the team page and we'll link it, or we can bump it up in the comments actually. And second, go watch Ray's videos on YouTube if you get time this weekend because they're gold. All right, Katie. Katie, you have to unmute yourself, girl.
Down the bottom left.
Bottom left.
Thanks, Ryan. All right, am I good?
There you go.
Okay, I'm good. Great. So I'm going to talk about hostess coaching. This is something that I wish I had looked into more originally, because I know how it works really good and I know when it works really, really bad. I've had some super successful parties, and I've had several very unsuccessful parties, and that is just from lack of information, I feel like. When I've talked to hostesses who are really excited about it and like they're driven to have lots of free and half off items, then I don't necessarily need to like hostess coach as much. But then I also feel like I'm doing an injustice, because if I'm not pulling teeth out of those people, then, everybody deserves the best. And if I'm not treating my hostess the best, then, exactly where there's a very fine line of how much to give each and every person. So I think the biggest thing as far as hostess coaching is if you make them feel special, they're going to come. They're going to want to celebrate your products. I don't need, when I'm hostess coaching, I don't need that whole Facebook party to know that I love Scentsy, because that's obvious. I need all of my hostesses people to know that my hostess loves Scentsy, so they're going to buy from her. Because especially as our groups grow and as people decide that, from further away out of our communities are going to host parties, then I'm not going to know them. And they don't care that they're buying it from me. They care that they're helping their host, which is exactly what it should be. So I feel like the biggest thing with hostess coaching is your attitude, and your attempt is going to decide how well your party is going to be. If you go into it hyping your host up, and if you go into it giving it your best attempt to make sure that they are educated, to make sure that everything that you're giving them your absolute all, then the party is going to be successful. It's like Casey said, I don't need to hype my products up because I already love them. I need for my host, and I need for her hype squad and all them to go ahead and boost everybody else up, because if you love Scentsy, you love Scentsy. And so there's several things that I feel like are super important in coaching your host. And that's the first one, is to set a date. So regardless of whether it's Facebook, whether it's a bag party, whether it's a home party, go ahead and set a date. Because if somebody comes to you and they're like, oh yeah, I'd love to host, I'd love to be, have a party, whatever, we'll be in touch. Well, that just kind of leaves it dead, and there's a lot of time in between there. Will you just let me know when suits you? Okay, well, I'm going to give them 3 dates, and I'm going to say I have this day, this day, and this day for a home party or whatever, or I have this week available for a Facebook party, because I'm not going to give them a whole lot of leeway, because once again, yes, this is our business, and yes, this is a big part of our life, but it's not all of our life. And I don't want them to say oh yeah, absolutely, let's do it this day. I'm going to kind of give them some options and then let them pick from there. So go ahead and make sure that you're setting that date, because you've got to get your calendar under control. And as I've already have for the month of August, I've had 12 people who want to have a party. Well, that's great if I have only 12 days where I'm going or showing or doing all of this stuff. But if 12 people want to have it the first Saturday in August, that's not going to work. So I've got to go ahead and set a date, and I'm going to give them some time to choose what they want to do and what they don't want to do. The next thing is set clear expectations. Okay. If you want free and half off products, then you're going to have to do some work as well. Yes, I know it's super easy to say you add your people and I'll do the rest of the work, which is what I said originally. And in a way, yeah, that kind of is it. But if I don't know your people and I don't know that all of your people have children or don't have children, and I'm sitting here saying, all right, mamas, you need this and you need this and you need this, because that's a huge part of my life, then I'm speaking to nobody. So I've got to set expectations. You've got to let me know what kind of audience I'm talking to. You've got to let me know these people like animals. If your mama, who is raring to go buy something, if she knows that she likes this type of product, let me know some of those gold nuggets so that I know who I'm talking to. And it's setting those expectations. Little details are going to go a long way as long as I know. And so just saying, which I've made this mistake, saying, all right, well, you just add some people to a Facebook group and, I'll do the rest. All right, well, we'll see you in however many days, and your party's not qualifying because, well, I didn't coach you very well, and I didn't have the information that I needed. Going live in those groups, like Casey said, this is a little side note, but going live in those groups makes a world of difference, because they're able to see you they're able to get to know you on a little bit a deeper level, other than just having photos of all the different things and seeing your name is posting them. And so it's all of those things put together are really, really, really going to make a difference. I've seen them. I've seen the difference in, having $100 in free product and not having squat, like not even qualifying. Once again, going back to making the hostess feel special, we all want to feel special. We all want to get the mail. We all want to get the free things. We all want to get the half off things, all of this stuff. But the biggest thing is making them feel special. We all know what it's like to feel special in that sense, and we want to give every single host, whether you're having 4 Facebook parties in 1 week, the person who's qualifying party and they're getting all the things and you're getting all the PRV from them, like they've got to be just as important as the person over here who has had 1 order and it's been 7 days and we're still trying to get that party qualified. You've got to make them feel special. And the big thing is like, if we're not, like, we can't complain about PRV if we're not doing our job, and our job is promoting the products, but also promoting the hostess. So once again, like I have sat back and I've been like, for real? Like, what more can I do? But I can't complain about it if I'm not coaching the host and I'm not doing everything that I possibly can. All right. Couple more things. The best party that I ever had 20 people in the group. The best party I ever had 20 people in the group. I've had a party with like 100 people in it, and I've had a party with very few people in it. The parties with few people in it are the best parties. I tell my hostesses, like, the max really needs to be 50 people, because if I get a party from Peggy Sue, or if I get an invite from Peggy Sue down the road and Peggy ain't never talked to me, like, do I really feel obligated to buy something from her? Not really. And a lot of times we know, because we tell our people, like, you're helping your host get free and half off items, and yeah. And so we're like, they're buying to help the host, right? And so if they're not going to attend your funeral, don't invite them to the party. And so that's kind of how, like, that's what I've told people. Like, if you don't think they're going to come to your funeral, then really don't invite them, because they're not going to buy from you, like, just because they're obligated, right? So if max 50 people, the best parties are the please do not put that on a shirt. Do not put that on a shirt. Okay. Don't put that on a shirt. And the other thing is, the last thing before I have any more quotes, okay? The last thing is, and I know this is very difficult, but it kind of goes along the line of the hype squad. If there is somebody who you think, like, I had one girl who said, like, oh yeah, when that girl goes in, like, she goes all in. And like, I'm like, yes, like that is me. Like, those kind of people speak to my heart. Okay. So she bought like $130. They never tried Scentsy, never smelled a bar, nothing. She bought like $130 because she was like, oh yeah, this is me. So that's great. That person should have had a personal invite. She should have said, hey, we're going to keep on with Peggy. Hey, Peggy, I'm hosting a party through Scentsy. It's a great thing, blah, 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 blah. Give her the whole spiel. You can help your host write all that up, and then personally send that to Peggy and say, can I add you to the group? Because once again, we're all about making people feel special. If I can make anybody who buys my stuff, we don't put together these packets to not make them feel special. We don't do all this extra to not make them feel special. So why not make your host do a little bit more to make those people feel special? So anyways, they ain't going to attend your funeral. Don't invite them to a party. Y'all are all invited to my party and my funeral. No time soon. That's it.
Here we go. Okay, Susanna, is it you? Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, everybody can hear me.
Yep, you're good.
Well, let me just follow up behind Katie with quote of the night, talking about, hope, well, at least we're all invited to her funeral, so we know we can attend. But that's words to live by, and it's so true. But even though I'm not talking about that, so I don't need to get on that high horse. So when I first started thinking about this stuff, the first thing that came to mind was talking about, well, first I thought, okay, don't go in there raging about how people post stuff too early with these releases and stuff, because that was what I wanted to do. But as we all know, since we've had SFR, people are doing that. So it's kind of forced us, and I'm just going to touch on this. I've got other compliance stuff to talk about, but it's kind of forced us to leak things that we didn't plan to leak earlier than we wanted to, and that kind of thing. And I know, especially for new people, it's like, is it okay that we're doing this? Like, are we going to get in trouble for posting this? And so you sort of wonder, like, where's the line there? So we'll talk a little bit about that, but mainly I think we've all pretty much done the same thing as far as posting that little sneak peek, just to let people know, like, yes, we know about villain warmers. Yes, we know that Jack's coming back and we got you. So just to let them know, like, don't freak out. We know. So, because obviously people that are not consultants don't know how they tell us stuff or how they release things. So they're like, well, why does this person post this and not this person? And like Casey said, when she did her little live about LTOs, you've got your customers that are going to be loyal through and through. They're going to message you and be like, I just saw da-da-da posted that the Jack Warmer's coming back. Do you know anything about that? I literally have a customer in New York, and I tell her that she keeps me straight. If she will message me and be like, I just saw a consultant in California post about this. Do you know anything about it? I'm like, yes, I just haven't posted it yet. I haven't scheduled to post in 2 hours or whatever. Like, she's on it. She keeps me straight. So, but she's one of my best customers, so I can't complain. So with that, when things come out sooner than planned, we just do like we have done with this, and we post our little sneak peek and we move on. Because right now we have other things to promote. We have a whole new catalog coming out Saturday, new warmers, new senses, all the goodness of the fall and the winter, which I'm super pumped about. So that's what we're really pushing right now. The time will come to talk about these other things that are coming, and people are going to be super excited about them at that time. But my mindset is, I don't want somebody saying, well, I'm not going to buy anything right now because I want to wait and buy that $75 warmer that releases October 1st. That's my thinking. So that's why I like to hold back on stuff like that. But going into the compliance side of it, thankfully, Cincy is wonderful about posting, answering frequently asked questions and posting PDFs for us to look up in our workstation. So I was looking at some of those, and I actually printed them off because I don't know how to screen share yet on Zoom. So I was like, let me just print these, because they're gonna be like, what the heck is she talking about? So there is one that's actually licensed product marketing guidelines, and it's just a quick do's and don'ts sheet. I don't know how well y'all can see this, but it's like super easy. So I probably would have printed this off anyway, just as a reference for myself, because it's just, we have a lot of this stuff coming out soon. We want to make sure we stay in compliance and we're not posting things we're not supposed to, or just things like that. So there's really just a few things to hit on that they have told us not to do. And that's, they provide in our marketing tab and on PhotoFi images for us to use for these licensed products: Disney, NFL, MLB, Star Wars, all that good stuff. You'll probably hear me say Disney like it's only for Disney, but this applies to all licensed products. So they have given us images we can use. Therefore, they don't want us using images that we've just Googled or that we've pulled off of a movie or anything like that. They want us to use the images that we've been given. Also, with the images, they don't want us to create collages with them, or tinker with the color of them, or put like our name or our label on them in any way, or crop them. They need to be used as is. So, if like we've got the honey pot and Winnie the Pooh and all that coming back, they've given us great images for that. Just post them like they are and add a cute caption to it, and you're good to go. So they encourage us to create our own captions, and they also really encourage us to use hashtags. So really the only limitation that we can't do with hashtags is they don't want us to put a hashtag saying, like, what was the one that they gave as a, hold on, let me find it. Shoot. Disney loves Cincy. So they don't want us looking like that Disney is endorsing or promoting Scentsy, like, and that's what we're focusing on. That, but we can use hashtags like hashtag Mickey Mouse, hashtag the child, or whatever. So they encourage us to use those along with our captions. And then with the images, they said, you know, that we can use, they want us to use these products in our homes and post pictures in our homes. So a good example would be your child laying in their bed with their Scentsy buddy, but you wouldn't necessarily want to put your Mickey Mouse buddy hugging a warmer where it looks like the Disney's promoting the Scentsy, if that makes sense. Those are the kind of things that we need to avoid. So really just focus on the solo product that you're promoting, whether it's a buddy or a warmer or whatever. So let's see, you can always post a link to your website and the price of the product. There's no issues with that. Really utilize your marketing tab, your marketing on the workstation, so that you can know that your images are good to go. There's no issues or questions about them. Make it a habit to check that news tab daily. And I'm guilty of this because sometimes you get up and from the time your feet hit the floor, it's crazy. So there's times when I don't check it till 8 o'clock at night because it's just been one of those days. But if you can make a habit of either checking it before you get up in the morning or checking it sometime throughout the day, just so you stay up on things. And thankfully, Casey is fabulous about keeping us posted on stuff as far as on our Cosmic Sense page. She keeps us in the know about everything, but it is ultimately our responsibility to keep a check on those things so we know when things are releasing, when it's okay to talk about them, when it's okay to release them. I'm trying to read these comments. I had someone tell me today. Oh, yeah. People, you get some crazy information. I'm just reading these comments, y'all. Sorry. Yeah, I've had some weird things. Once again, the girl in New York is the one that keeps me on my toes. And Casey knows because I've talked to her about her. I'm like, girl, she's my best customer, but whew. So she asks me some funky stuff too sometimes. They actually also give you a PDF. It's called Promoting the Disney Collection. And it's also got your do's and don'ts on it. It's got how to promote online, how to promote with printed materials. So if you're going to put these in your bag parties, if you're going to mail postcards, the best thing you can do is get those directly off the consultant store or the Vistaprint Pro Shop. So that's the best place to get those. But they give you an example of a good picture. And I'm sorry, y'all, like I said, I don't know how to screen share. So this is Mickey hugging a warmer. That's something you don't want to do. This is an image that obviously just came off the internet of Tigger and Winnie the Pooh that you don't want to do. This one is a Cinderella bar, but they've added all these graphics to it to make it their own. So those are just things that we have to avoid because they have a contract with Disney and we have to abide by the compliance of it. So let me see if there's anything else that I mentioned. Just mainly utilizing that marketing tab in the training center on your workstation so that you stay up on anything and just no modifications. Also, one other little side thing is they don't want us to go on these fan pages and try to promote and be like, oh yeah, come be, you know, join my team or have a party with me. They don't want us to do that either. So that's what your VIP page is for. That's what your Instagram and Facebook stories are for. So that's how you recruit and, you know, aside from just messaging people and stuff. So they just want us to avoid going onto these fan pages and doing things like that. So, yeah, and like Casey said, Disney don't play with people using their name. And it's the same that goes with, you know, the NFL or the Star Wars stuff or anything. So it's a privilege for us to have products of theirs. And so we don't want to abuse that privilege. So let's see, runs faster than moves news. You can network that way. Let them print. Yes, Jennifer Anderson's fabulous. That's also a side note, and y'all will learn with my trainings I'm real squirrely and I get on side notes easily, and I apologize for that. But yeah, she's good. So if you guys haven't watched, she did a really good job on the changes on Scentsy Clubs. So that's just a little side note, but I liked that video. It helped me a lot. I don't think I have anything else to talk about. Casey, let me know if you think I missed something that I need to touch on. Don't use like song lyrics and things like that in your captions. If you just, you know, you can just say like, hey, we need the food's coming back, and the Scentsy Buddy, you choose your scent pack, you know, whatever. You can make it your own, but we're not allowed to use like lyrics or quotes from the movies and things like that.
All right, Sarah, you ready?
Okay, there we go. Can y'all hear me okay?
You're good.
Okay, so I have a side note first based off of t-shirts. So making those t-shirts, by the way, Katie. They're hilarious. So for those of you that did order the Wax Boss t-shirts, I don't know how well you can see this. See? Let me turn my brightness down. I'm like, Susanna, y'all, this is my first Zoom ever. Grandma here is joining the 21st century, so they are purple. So cute. I'm going to go pick them up tomorrow. So if y'all ordered them, I will be getting in touch with you. If you did not pay, it's not too late. I'm going to do round 2 of orders. Okay, so I'm going to talk about sponsoring tonight, and I'm super excited because I've had a really awesome week with sponsoring. I'm going to say this first and foremost. You have to be patient, y'all. I am the #1 go-getter. When I have my mind set on something, I want it right now. I don't want to wait. I want it this very instant. You have to be patient. Definitely had to learn that. You can't harass these poor people or else you're going to scare them away. 3 legs of success is the key to promoting. Sales is the most important, sponsoring, and then training. If your sales aren't up, you're not going to do good sponsoring. So going back to sales, if you're not booking events, you're not trying to sponsor. You have to have conversations. You have to be brave. Like they say, cheesy as it is, go for the no. If you're wanting to promote, you have to have 5 to 8 minimum parties per week. Not only does this give you the opportunity to host parties and boost your PRV, each party that you have gives you the opportunity to share the journey that you've been on and invite them to go on your journey. And then not only with them, but then the customers, their friends and family, you can invite them too. I know a lot of things, like my personal thing was like, well, I don't know enough people, y'all. Like I've got like 2 best friends and the people I work with. Well, now that I'm self-employed with a cleaning company and I work at a car lot with all men, yes, men do Scentsy, but not like women. I was like, I don't know enough people. You have to get out there. Y'all are looking at the girl that didn't order by herself until she was 14 years old off the menu. Y'all, how ridiculous is that? Like, that's how shy I was. 14 years old and I wouldn't order dinner off a menu. I made my mom and dad do it for me. So if I can do it, I know that you guys can do it. My cat's decided to join the Zoom, so just ignore her. So not only that, like, you can overcome shyness, y'all. I joined this journey kind of when I was in a rough spot in life. Anxiety, depression, y'all. I literally had to quit my job due to anxiety and depression. So not only did this help me overcome shyness, this got me out of my comfort zone, talking to people, going live in front of strangers. I had no self-confidence, but y'all, I'm doing a training tonight in front of strangers. I've met some of y'all and I love this group more than anything. Like, y'all support is awesome, and I just like am so on fire for getting other people to join this journey in this. I just call it a sisterhood and a family because like y'all are a rock. And so like, why would you not want to share that with somebody? Like, I just can't understand why you wouldn't want to share it. So going back to the PRV, let me tell y'all, I've been doing this since November. So that's what? November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. That's like 9 months. I did not have a system in place. I was, I think I need to get active. Let me text some people. Well, I'm close to getting paid at Title. Let me message this girl. No, that don't work. Let me tell you, I was hitting my PRV for the past 9 months, 200, maybe 500. Y'all, this month, I put a system in place. I listened to trainings. If you listen to trainings, fantastic. If you don't do what the trainings are saying, shame on you. You're wasting your time. So put a system in place, started following my system, y'all. I am closing out this month $121 away from 3,000 PRV. Never in my life did I think that would happen. You can go back and look on the 3,000 PRV posts. And this month I said, I want to be like y'all when I grow up. Your girl's done grown up. I was so excited. Y'all, I'm so excited that I hit 3,000, almost 3,000 PRV. And I am working and I will hit 3,000 PRV before this is done. So I'm so excited for that. And with that being said, reach out to your people, make a goal. If your goal is to get active, hit it. When you hit it, make another goal. Baby steps. You don't have to aim for 3,000 PRV. Start where you are. Totally fine. We all got to start somewhere. Every single one of us start out at 0 every single month. Chloe says that. Ray says that. Katie Lassiter. Even Casey says it. So another thing with parties, this grows your contacts. You're selling to your mama, your daddy, your coworkers. Only 5 people are buying because you're not hosting parties and getting more contacts. So that's why you're not able to sponsor. I was watching Chloe's video earlier today, and she was talking about writing down the go for the no. So you write down no 100 times. Each time you mark off a no, that gets you closer to your yes. With that being said, if you're only having three sponsoring conversations a week, you've got a long way to go before you get to your yes. You should be talking to 15, 20 people a week about sponsoring. And this goes back to what Katie says, treat your people like VIPs, roll out the red carpet. If they say no, it's okay. No is okay. Make them know that no is okay. Make them feel comfortable, and don't ghost them. Y'all, don't ghost your people if they tell you no. Because if you ghost them, you don't know if they're saying no to forever or just no to right now. And just stay on them. Don't harass them, but you can follow up with them. Keep building that relationship. The more you build that relationship, the more they're in their life. They're in your life. They'll see your post, see how much you love Cincy, and then they'll be like, okay, well, maybe she's on to something. Maybe I do want to do this. So you have to make it a lifestyle also. And then consistency is key always. With your posts, following up with people, you just have to stay consistent. And then last, when they do join, make sure that you have a plan. So I know, especially for myself, like when I started recruiting and I got people on my team, I was like, okay, well, now what do I do? Like, they're on my team. I know we say train yourself, but I mean, nobody really wants to do that, which is one thing that I love about this group is the teamwork on our Cosmic page, the support from our directors and our other team members is incredible. I always mention that when I go to recruit is I mention how much of a wonderful team that we have. And that, yes, it is a single business, but with us, it's a group effort. We are our #1 cheerleaders for each other. Yes, we're kind of in competition with each other because we are local, but not really. I mean, you work your business, I'm going to work mine, and we reach our goals together. That's kind of how I look at it. Let's see, what else did I have? Y'all, I just get so fired up. My mind is just like, I could run a mile, and y'all that know me know that I don't run. Let's see. So make your goals, make their goals your goals, but make sure you don't forget to work your business. Like Chloe says, set out the first week of the month and the last week of the month for yourself. Hit your PRV, hit your goals. And participate in the group page. How are you working? Let's see. We all have lives. We all work jobs. A lot of us have kids, husbands, pets, families. None of us have time to do this, but you have to make time. And it's worth it. So be brave, get out there, go recruit. No is okay. Just remember that. It doesn't reflect on you. Just because they say no doesn't mean that you suck, doesn't mean that it's no forever. It might just be no for right now. You know, things are kind of crazy. Let's see. you have to make them want your job. It is a job doing this, but it's a fun job, or else none of us would do it. It's all optional. The money's great. Just take a breath and cool it. Don't harass them. Don't get too excited, even though it is so exciting. I think that's everything I have though. Did anybody have any questions? Let me go back and read these. All right. I think that's good. Casey, if I missed anything, feel free to touch on it. I know I get excited and I just
No, you did great. And like I said, we're going to be doing that sponsoring boot camp. So we will be able to go way more in depth with like everything she just talked about, because I mean, she did a great job at doing like a snapshot of a whole lot of information in a very small period of time. So
very much a crash course right there. That was a 4-video thing that Chloe did, and I just kind of had to cram it into 10 minutes. So be ready for August.
Yes. But I do want to like reiterate what she said, because I know we have a lot of new and up and coming leaders. And I mean that even for the people that don't have a team yet, because those of you with PRB 1,000 and above, like, you should have a team and you will have a team. So we're going to get there in August. So for those people, definitely do what she said. First week of the month, last week of the month. Like, you've got to focus on your own business, because it's so rewarding when you start seeing team members reaching their goals. And it's easy to get wrapped up in doing that and then forget, oh crap, I'm supposed to be doing my own business too. Because I had to do a reality check with myself today, because I looked at my list of people who are uncertified on my team, and I was like, oh, that's not that many. So I need to get to recruiting. Like, where are all my new people? So today I set out to do a bunch of follow-ups, and I did a bunch of sponsoring conversations. I did a sponsoring post, and I have 4 people will be onboarding in the next week. So like, literally, like, if you set your mind to something, like, and you just get on it, like, you can do it. And you don't want to forget those things, because the fact that I got 4 today means that some of those people I should have asked weeks ago. Like, they showed interest weeks ago, and I should have been following up with them. But it's easy to, once you start building that team, to find that balance. So setting aside the first and last week to focus on your own business is a good routine to get in. It gets you to that end of the month craziness of getting everything closed out, making sure you've met your goals, setting up for the next month. And then the first week of the month craziness of new product launches, warmer of the month. They're announcing all the things, like, and I always want to hit my, like, I'm a go harder with PRB, but most people will tell you that leaders, like directors and above, will say that their goal for the first day of the month is to get that 500 PRB done, because that's our minimum to be paid as a leader, to be paid at title. So they knock that out the first of the month. And that was always my goal. Now I'm like, by the end of the first week, I need 1,000 PRV, because I got big goals for Disney. So you got to pace yourself and find those milestones throughout the month, because otherwise you will be scrambling at the end of the month. And that's why everything goes out of stock in those last few days of the month. You'll notice that. And that's why we've been getting word from the upper heads of Cincy to close out parties before those last few days, because that's what they're seeing happen, is consultants scrambling to contact their customers and find something different they want, because this was sold out, now this is sold out, and now this is kicked out of my cart, because consultants hold orders until those last 1 or 2 days of the month, trying to meet their goals, and then close it out on the 30th or 31st, and it becomes a mad dash scramble. That's a mess. You don't want to be part of that. Be done early. Do your Christmas shopping early, so you don't have to be in the madhouse. That's kind of what it is. So close your parties early, so you don't have to participate in that. But we will be launching Saturday. I posted if I haven't posted it already, what to expect with that. I will post that after I get off right now, but there will be certain things on your workstation that are going to be turned off. They always do that during catalog transition to help the website move a little smoother. Expect things to be a little wild on the side of our workstation for like the first day as everything kind of balances out. But Saturday is a new catalog, so that's super exciting. I will be like super available Saturday for you guys because I know a ton of people are going to be closing out warmer of the month parties and parties for getting new products from the new catalog. So I hope you guys are super ready for fall because I am like, it's going to be great. Like this is the best time in the Scentsy world because that fall magic is just great. Y'all are going to see your biggest paychecks ever this fall. Like every fall you get to tell yourself you're about to see your biggest paycheck ever. Like how fun is that? What kind of season does that? Like we don't go into summer and like think anything exciting like that. Like fall, biggest paycheck ever. So I will upload this to our YouTube and post the link for you guys. So when I post it tomorrow on our team page, then just make sure you tag your downline in the comments. That way they see it and can watch it. I know that Zoom is like, a lot of people don't use Zoom outside of education or other things that now, I mean, with COVID, I think all kinds of places are using Zoom now, but if your teamies aren't familiar with Zoom, next time text them before the meeting to see if they need help getting on, because it can be kind of a process to learn how to use. So just make sure to check in with them next time to see if they need some assistance from some of us, but we will get this uploaded. Hope you guys have a great night. Get excited for Saturday. Bye, y'all.